From the Gate of Kings the north wind rides, and past the roaring falls, and clear and cold about the tower its loud horn calls. What news from the north, O mighty wind, do you bring to me today? What news of Boromir the bold, for he is long away? Beneath the Mon Hen I heard his cry, there many foes he fought, his cloven shield, his broken sword, they do the water brought. His head so proud, his face so fair, his limbs they laid to rest. And Rhoros, golden Rhoros falls, bore him upon its breast. O Boromir, the tower of guard shall ever northward gaze. To Rhoros, golden Rhoros falls, until the end of days. Welcome to Matt Reviews Books, and I am Matt. And this is a book review channel dedicated to older books. Books that were at one time bestsellers, but aren't any longer. You know the ones you find in the used bookstore that say, New York Times bestseller, and you say, I've never heard of it. Those are the books I want to talk about. And if that sounds like a good time to you, then go ahead and subscribe down below. Down there. And go ahead and hit that notification button. It's a belton. That's what we'll call it. And also, comment, subscribe, like, dislike, argue with me. Don't argue with me. I don't care. Well, I do, actually. I do have feelings. But with that, this week, even though it's an old book, it's also still continues to be a bestseller. The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. Book 2 in The Lord of the Rings. That's right. And this bad boy, this one, is the, we really start getting into some action. So, before we get into that, let's just sort of get a little synopsis going. The companions, the 9 companions, have broken. Frodo and Sam have gone off on their own toward Mordor to attempt to take the ring and drop it into Mount Doom. Gimli, Legolas, and Aragorn remember, he used to be called Strider, but now he's Aragorn, son of Arathorn. They're chasing a group of orcs who have captured Merry and Pippin in the attack on their camp, trying to get the ring, and Boromir falls very early in the book. And I don't think that is necessarily a spoiler. Turns into actually a fairly important plot point later on, down the road. And so now we have sort of multiple threads of the story going forward. And this is the one with Helms Deep, the battle for Helms Deep. J.R.R. Tolkien was a folklorist. He knew that originally in pre-literate societies, stories were passed down orally. And in order for you to listen to something orally 100 times or 1,000 in your lifetime, hearing the same stories over and over, it's got to be easy on the ear, also easy to say. You have to read it out loud to understand this is based on those oral histories and the oral traditions. There's lots of songs. The elves have lots of songs too. Everybody has lots of songs passing on oral stories, the histories. And it's great. It's wonderful. And then on top of that, the battle for Helm's Deep, the ultimate romantic cavalry charge. As the gates open and the horn of Helm blows, and out the charge against the orcs and the forces of Mordor and Isengard and Ents. Ents, people! The Two Towers is action, high adventure, sword and sorcery. much of what you may hear if you look about Tolkien. Go and look at what Tolkien, his backstory. It starts to really shine in the Two Towers, and I start to see the connections, the actual, the hobbits are down to earth and very tangible, but then the world of men becomes tangible through this oral tradition. And this is where heroes rise and fall. So I guess you could tell both from the synopsis and from my thoughts that this is I think this is probably my favorite out of the whole series. Even out of the as much as at the end you have the big final showdown in Return of the King, Two Towers is the one that just seems like it gets the blood moving and just want to put on armor and go forth with shining sword. And so that's it for me. I think we're going to wrap it up. And if you made this far, thanks for watching. Hope you consider following along. And we're going to end out 2018 in strong fashion, I think. And we're going to look at 2019 and planning ahead, and things seem to be stable. We're going to move forward. And that, I think, is all for me. And I will see you next time.